everyone, welcome back to I Dream of Homestead. I'm Josephina, and today, to celebrate my baby chicks and all the future egg dishes that I'll get to show you guys, plus the almost 1,000 new subscribers I've got, I am making my favorite egg breakfast, Huevos Rancheros. So to start, in the beginning of the video, you guys saw me making some homemade tortillas, and I am hoping that one day I will get to show you guys how I make those. I've just been practicing a lot. It's like my sourdough bread, which I am also teaching myself to make, where I am just practicing and practicing until I've got it where I feel is perfect enough to be able to show you guys how to do it. So you guys saw me make those, and now I'm taking those exact same tortillas and I'm turning them into tostadas by frying them. This is also how you would make tortilla chips. The only difference is that you would cut this up before frying it. Obviously, if you don't have all of the things to make some homemade tortillas, you can buy some from the store. You can either fry them up using store-bought tortillas, or you can buy tostadas that are already made. I know I've seen them before in stores like Publix and Walmart, but for sure any Latin American store or any Mexican supermarket will end up having those for you. If you guys do want to learn the difference between all the different types of tortillas, between the flour, the yellow corn, the white corn, the kind that you can get at Walmart in the plastic bags that are not very good, but they're only good for frying, the ones in the paper packaging, let me know and I can definitely do a video on that for you. I can also teach you about cooking the tortillas and the different methods, because while the microwave is easy, you are going to get a really not great tasting tortilla and they're all gonna stick to each other, and it's really just not the same as heating it up in a dry pan on a skillet or any other way. So while those tortillas are finishing up frying, I'm gonna work on the sauce, which is super simple but absolutely delicious. So I've got a whole onion that I'm slicing up. Next, I'm going to slice up 3 tomatoes. Now that I have everything sliced up, I'm gonna put that into the pan with oil. And I did use the oil from where I was frying the tortillas. That way it's got that delicious flavor from the tortillas, plus I'm not wasting any. To that, I'm also going to be adding in 1 sliced up jalapeño. You can also use serranos for this. And 2 wombo cloves of garlic. If you don't have wombo cloves of garlic, you can use just 4 small cloves of garlic. Now that I have both of those chopped up, I'm going to add the jalapeños into the tomatoes and onions. This has been cooking down for about 5 minutes, so now I'm going to add in the garlic. I'm also going to season this with some salt and pepper. Not too much salt, because I want to check it at the end to see if I need more. Now that the salt and pepper have been added into it, I'm gonna cover it with the lid, and that salt's gonna help draw the juice out of the tomatoes and the onions. That way I'm getting the liquid from that along with the liquid that I'm gonna be adding into it in just a minute. You guys, I seriously cannot wait, because in 2 months, all of the ingredients that are currently in this pan are gonna be coming out of my garden and straight to the stove. And then the eggs a couple months after that in the basket will be coming from my chickens, not somebody else's. And I'm gonna have an entire meal that's coming out of my backyard, and that makes me so happy. So all of the ingredients have been cooking down for about 2 minutes, and at this point is where I would add in some stock. But I forgot to defrost my stock. So instead of chicken stock today, I'm gonna be adding in some water and about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon, which is a great thing that I did not add too much salt earlier, so that I could handle that in the end with this chicken bouillon. I just added in about ½ cup of water, and now I'm gonna add in about ½ teaspoon of chicken bouillon. and I'm gonna stir that in. You can use vegetable stock, you can use beef stock, you can use just plain water. Whatever you've got on hand will work just fine in this. I said half a cup, but I'm doing a whole cup instead because it's looking a little dry. I normally don't measure things when I cook, so that's why sometimes it gets a little bit kind of for me when I'm trying to explain how to make something with you guys. With measurements, I usually have to cook it a few times and figure out just how much I use to get it right, and then test it using those measurements before I show you guys. And I know I'll get better with that in the future. So when I have moments like this, it's just because I have yet to measure it. I just let my ancestors speak to me and say, yeah, amiga, that's enough. If you don't have all of these fresh ingredients, you can use an 8 to 16 ounce can of tomato sauce, depending on how saucy you want this. You can use that and dice up the onions. The only thing different you would do is dice up the onion, dice up the jalapeno, mince up your garlic as finely as you can, or use powder. And then after those have sauteed and become translucent, add in the can of tomato sauce, and then that same can, fill it up with water and pour that in and stir it all together. This is just a way to do it with all the fresh ingredients. The other way is also absolutely delicious, and I make it that way often. You guys, I just tasted it. That is so good. All right, so let me show you guys. Just like this, on top is absolutely perfect. It's so good, so yummy. But if you don't like all the chunkiness like this, which I know for my kids, they wouldn't care for it as much, you can puree it. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take it off the heat so that while I'm pureeing, I don't have lava boiling at me. You can use your blender, just pour all this in and then pour it back into the pan when you're done, but I don't wanna have to wash all that. This is way easier for me to wash than a blender. You can completely puree this until it is just one smooth liquid, or you can do it like I did. I like to leave it nice and chunky because I love having the bites of the vegetables in there. And that's it for the sauce. It is literally the easiest thing in the world, but it's so flavorful that, so good. I'm so excited about this. When I tell you guys this is my favorite breakfast, I mean, it's my favorite. You can also do this with refried beans on top of the tostada before you put the egg on and then the sauce. And it's absolutely magnificent. But just like this, so simple and perfect, it is just as good. Oh my God. To me, this isn't spicy at all. I only use one jalapeno because I am serving my kids and I don't want to blow them out of here with spice, but you can add more if you want. To me, with just the one, it's a really mild heat that's tolerable. Again, personal preference, so you add as much or as little as you like to it. But the tomatoes, when they are fresh, guys, it lets out this sweetness as it's cooking down in there that you just can't get out of the canned tomato, which again, using it with the canned tomato is so delicious too. The only difference is that it's got more of a tangy acidic taste because it's in the can versus when it's fresh. So good. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I hope that you're willing to hit that subscribe button and stick around with me for a while on this journey to becoming a homesteader. Thank you again to all of my new subscribers who have joined. I hope that you enjoy all of the content, from the cooking to the garden to the farm to table stuff to my chickens. I hope that you enjoy all the content and that you stick around for a long, long time. I will see you in the next one.